So standing at the back of your mat, hands in front of the heart for a moment. We're going to dive right into practice today. So setting the intention that you're rooted, visualizing roots moving out of your feet into the earth surface. Breathe some of the earth energy in through the soles of your feet through the nose. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, shoot the soles of your feet into the earth even further. Another big breath in. Exhale, visualize the roots moving deeper into the earth's surface. Maybe you can feel the grass underneath your mat. Breathe some of that sturdy earth energy in. And then exhale, visualize your roots moving all the way through the earth's surface and visualize them traveling through the computer and touching with the roots of the humans around you. So everybody in this class, your roots intertwined, and we stand together in this feeling of union and this feeling of community, honoring that we can show up exactly as we are, however we're feeling, whatever we're moving through, and that is exactly enough. Sealing this practice, opening it up rather, sealing this energy, this container with one collective Om from root to crown, deep breath in. From here, blinking the eyes open. Inhale the arms up to the ceiling, big breath in. As you exhale, root the soles of your feet into the earth, but reach the fingertips nice and tall. From here, grab your right wrist, plant your right foot deeper into the earth as you reach the right body up and over. Few breaths here, so feel the right side body opening right away. From here, inhale, bring yourself back up to center. Take the left wrist, ground the left foot into the earth even more, and then reach the left arm up and over, opening up the side body. From here, inhale back to center. Bring both arms straight up, big breath in. And then as you exhale, take the hands behind the back, interlace them, and then just start to roll the shoulder heads back, opening up the chest. Now from here, engage your quads so that you lift your kneecaps and just start to put a micro bend in the knees. So just like a medium little bend. Opening up the chest a whole bunch, pull the lower belly in. See if you can soften the tailbone towards the heels. Good, from here, you're gonna walk the toes and the heels a little further apart so they're wider than hip distance. From here, big breath in, and as you exhale, bend the knees a whole bunch. And then you're gonna take the torso all the way on top of the thighs, keep the arms behind you, keep the booty low, and sink back. So it's almost like you're sitting in a chair, but the arms are laced behind you and you're peeling open your décolleté. From there, lift your toes off of the mat. So you're sinking deeper in the heels and the balls of the feet. All 10 toes, or however many you have, can lift up off of the mat. And then from here, pull the lower belly in even more so you're super active in the lower abdominal wall. Now your torso is just gonna lift a little bit off your thighs. You're gonna look in front of you, and then you're gonna release the lacing of the hands, but the fingertips are gonna point straight back. And then you're in this awkward version of some kind of squat chair situation. The spine is long, you're opening up the chest and the décolleté. You're gonna hold this for a moment, and then you just breathe. So the thumbs are pointing down and the pinkies are pointing up. You're engaging all the way through the backs of the arms. Lift the triceps even higher. Roll the shoulder heads back even more, and then see if you can sink a little bit deeper. Light up your quads, spin the inseams of the thighs towards the floor. All 10 toes are still off the mat. Sink a little bit deeper in the hips. Your gaze is still pretty much forward, but your spine is neutral in the cervical area. So that means your neck is neutral. You're not cranking it up, you're not dropping it down. And then start to notice that the heat is starting to build in your body. And as it is, invite the heat into your body. And the more we get in our bodies, the more we get out of our minds. And the mind is a silly place to be anyway. So finding our freedom by way of movement through the body and breaking the chains of being shackled to our psyche. And that is the yoga. Few breaths here. When you feel the quads and the hamstrings start to talk to you, enjoy that conversation. It's a different conversation than the one you were just having maybe upstairs in your mind. It might be just as intense, and it also should be equally as temporary, but it's a choice. And so we breathe into this choice. One more big breath in. And then exhale, put your belly on your thighs, interlace the hands again, and slowly start to straighten your legs, fold forward. And let something out the mouth. Good, from here, release the arms down in front of you. Inhale, halfway lift, open up your chest so the spine lifts, the heart reaches forward. Can you shift the weight more into the balls of your feet now? And then exhale, fold forward even more. So the weight is more on the balls of the feet. You're lifting the hamstrings high. Good, now from here, drop the booty down again. This time you're gonna interlace the opposite direction. So find the cattywampus version, whatever felt uncomfortable now. Pull the lower belly in again, and then we're revisiting that chair pose. That wide-legged, awkward chair. We sink deep, we reach the chest. We know that we've already been here before, so we can absolutely handle it. But what's the story that we write about it this time? Few breaths. One more big breath in. Exhale, put your torso back on your thighs and slowly start to straighten the legs. Arms reach in front of you. Shoulders pull away from the ears. And then release the hands down to the mat. Nice, from here, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, slowly walk yourself out. You're gonna find your first downward facing dog. So right away, we move into our first downward facing dog. The arms are straight and strong. You're rolling the biceps forward, the triceps back. The heels are moving towards the mat, and the inseams of the thighs are moving towards the back of the room. Press the ground away a whole bunch. Pull the lower belly in. Somebody's trying to get in. Few breaths here. Good, and then from here, bend your knees generously. Good, and then see if you can really spin the inseam of the thighs to the back of the room. And then from here, shift forward to plank pose. Go ahead, drop down to your knees. And then broaden through the collarbones, slowly lower elbows in, hover if you can. And then inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, tuck the toes, push it back, downward facing dog. Nice job, you guys. Awesome, from here, inhale, shift forward to plank pose, top of a push-up. From here, drop your knees, slowly lower, take your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra, and exhale, tuck the toes, push it back, downward facing dog. Nice job. From here, you guys drop down to your knees for a moment. And I just want you to look at the screen. I just want to workshop real quick, show you guys about chaturanga, because if we're doing it wrong, then we're causing injury. So if you're on my Instagram, I put a link to my Amazon influencer page. All that means is that I put shit that I like so that people can be like, what kind of block do you like? What kind of yoga mat do you like? And then it's just there. It makes communication a lot easier. So if you get some blocks, I'm just going to show you how to do chaturanga properly so that we don't tear up our shoulder joints real quick. So you would take your hands where you wouldn't be in your plank pose, and then you would set your blocks right in front of that index finger. Boom. So your blocks are right in front of the index finger. Whether you're on your knees or you're out in plank, you're gonna come up. I'm gonna shift forward like I'm looking over a cliff. I'm gonna open up my chest, and when I drop down, this is as far as you go. So the shoulders touch the block. That is your chaturanga. So even this is a little too low sometimes. So you wanna make sure that when you're coming forward, you pause here. This is as far as you go. Then you press straight up to up dog, and then you tuck back to downward facing dog. So a lot of times it feels really high. This feels like I'm really high up in the air, but this is to protect the body. Inhale up, exhale, push back. So if you have blocks, I would suggest trying that. If you don't have them, it's always a good idea to invest in them. Remember that props or tools from an evolutionary standpoint are a sign of intelligence, not weakness. Okay, so coming back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we're gonna inhale, shift out to your plank pose. Try dropping to your knees first. Lift your heart, spread your collarbones, then drop down for chaturanga. Pause in your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back, downward facing dog. Good, one more time, inhale out to plank, top of a push-up. You're not dropping to your knees this time, you're slowly lowering, find your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, tuck the toes, push it back, downward facing dog. Good, from here, step the right foot between the hands. Drop the left foot down, uncurl the back toes. Drop the left hand down, and from here, we're gonna find our spinal twist. So we're gonna inhale the heart, open towards the right side of the room.
You're staying low on the left knee. Inhale the right fingertips up, and then actively press the ground away a whole bunch. Few breaths there. From here, can you spin the right arm behind you? Engage your hamstrings. See if you can touch or grab that left foot. Notice that it might be tighter today than it was yesterday, or maybe you're living in a little bit more open body. Roll the chest open, find that opening, and feel this in the hip flexor of your left leg. Maybe a quad, maybe IT band. Just send breath wherever you feel the tightness or the sensation. Good, engage your hamstrings so you don't fling your leg. Lift the right arm up, tuck the back toes, and then lift the left leg up. Right arm reaches to the ceiling. Few breaths here. Good, from here, take the right hand down to the inside of that right foot. From here, you're either gonna stay here in this lizard or you're gonna drop down onto your forearms. So maybe this is really high and you need to drop that back knee. But the idea is that we're just gonna open up this right hip even more. So whether you're on top of your back left knee on your forearms, or if you have full extension in the back leg and you can get down on your forearms, this is another opportunity where that block is super useful. Make yourself a little bit taller. So find your version, however lizard feels good to you. Good, and then from here, place both hands back down, straight and strong in the back leg, take the right leg back, push yourself back, downward facing dog. So it should feel like we're opening up those hips a little bit. From here, left leg steps right in front. Drop the right knee, uncurl the toes. From here, drop the right hand, lift the left chest open, the left arm reaches towards the ceiling. Good, and then press the ground away a whole bunch. Nice, and then work the gaze towards the top arm. Pull the lower belly in. Nice, and then from here, engage the hamstring, flex the right foot, take the left hand back, see if you can touch it, and then try to kind of grip it, grab it, pull it up, and then keep pushing out of the right arm. So we're not collapsing into that right shoulder, we're still lifting the chest, twisting the ribs. Good, and then pull that right foot in a little bit, feel the quad, the hamstring, the IT band. And then engage the hamstring. Gently release it so you don't fling it. Left arm reaches up. Good. Curl the back toes. Come up on a high twisting lunge. And then take the left hand back down to the inside of that thigh. So first you're going to try your lizard here. So if you can drop down to your forearms on this side, then you'll take it. For me, it's a little bit tighter on my left. So I'm going to drop my right knee and then I'm going to come to my forearms. And remember that your flexibility is a journey. So sometimes after a few breaths, your body will let you release a little bit further. And after a few long exhales in a pose, you'll be able to straighten your back leg. Press the heel back of the right leg. And then breathe into your hips. And remember, we're in a lot of flexion right now. We're sitting a lot. We're Netflix and chilling a lot. So we're sitting at desks a lot. So this is probably pretty rich in feeling. Go ahead, drop that knee. Press your hands back up straight. Extend the back leg. And then take the left leg back. Oof. And then push yourself back, downward facing dog. Good, from here, inhale, shift forward to plank top and we'll push up. Slowly lower elbows in, pause in your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, tuck the toes, push it back, downward facing dog. From here, lift the right leg up towards the ceiling and reach into the back of the room. So keep the hips squared still. Let the back toes point towards the floor. See if you can lengthen and press the arms away. Lift up out of the shoulders, lift the forearms away from the mat. Big breath in. Exhale, take the right knee down the center of the nose. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, take the right knee down the left side of the body to the left tricep. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, take the right knee to the right side of the body to the right tricep. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, bring the knee back down the center of the body. Hold it there, protract for a moment. Push, push, push the ground away. And then step the foot between the hands. From here, you're gonna drop the back foot at maybe a 45-degree angle or more. Check in that your heel to arch alignment, and then slowly bring yourself up, setting up for Virabhadrasana 2. Sinking deep in your warrior 2. So sink deep, think of spinning the inseam of that thigh towards the outer, reaching to the front and back of the room, and then gaze forward towards your front hand. Sinking deep, and can you lift those toes up? So just like on the back of the mat, when we were squatting in our legs and we noticed that all 10 toes were lifting, we always want that action in whichever leg is our front leg. So we're always in the heel and the ball of the foot, never clenching our toes. Sinking deep. From here, gaze forward in front of you now, flip both palms. From here, inhale the arms up. Drop the front ribs, sink a little bit deeper. And then exhale, press the arms down. Good, inhale the arms up, this time straighten the leg. Exhale, press the arms down, bend the knee. Inhale, arms up, straighten the leg. Exhale the arms down, bend the knee. Inhale, arms up, straighten the leg. Exhale, arms down, bend the knee, sink a little bit deeper. Good, from your inhale, reach forward, take all of that space, and then drop the right arm on the inside of the right foot. Press the ground away to lift the left arm. So this would also be an excellent opportunity if you had a block to find the support here. Good, engage the back leg a whole bunch. So the front knee is bent, and then stack your shoulders on top of each other so it feels like your chest is falling backwards. Then take the arms, scoop the entire horizon with the left arm, reach the arm diagonally. So you have a long line of energy from the left big toe all the way to the left pointer finger. Good, roll the right ribs under you, the left ribs roll up, your gaze is under your left arm, and then breathe. Good, from here, look down at that big toe. Take that arm straight up. From here, engage through the belly, press to the right heel, bring yourself back up to Virabhadrasana 2. Straighten your front leg. From here, we're gonna inhale, take that same space again. Take the hand down to the outside of the foot this time. So the hand is on the outside of the foot, the leg is straight, and here you are in Trikonasana. So again, stack your shoulders a whole bunch. If you have that block, it's an excellent idea. Few breaths in. Good, from here, look down at the big toe. Bend the right knee deeply, press to the right foot. Inhale, bring yourself back to Virabhadrasana 2. Flip the front palm, inhale, reach up and back, reverse your warrior just for a moment. Exhale, windmill the hands all the way down. Step back to your plank. Slowly lower through your version of vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. From here, we're gonna take the left leg up towards the back of the room. The toes stay down, the hips stay squared towards the mat. Press the ground away, zip up the lower belly. Big breath in, inhale the hips back. Exhale, bend the knee, bring it all the way down the center towards the nose. So you're protracting to the upper shoulders. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, take the left knee all the way to the right tricep. Find your oblique twist, keep protracting through the shoulders. Inhale, take it up and back. Exhale, bring it down all the way to the left side. Lift it up, protract, protract. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, bring it all the way down to center again. Protract the shoulders, belly in, pull it up. Inhale, take it back. And then exhale, step the foot between the hands. Good, from here, you're gonna drop the back foot again. Check in that your heel to arch alignment. So the front foot, the heel of the front foot lines up with the arch of the back foot. Sink deep in the front knee, pull the left the left hip underneath you, and find Virabhadrasana 2. And then sit in your Virabha 2. So noticing the bowl of water that is your pelvic floor. So you don't want it to spill forward like this. You don't want it to spill forward like this. And you don't want it to be falling back. So nice and neutral on the pelvis. Gaze over the left hand. Few breaths here. Sink deep in the front knee. And then notice what comes up every time you have the opportunity to be still. And can you work with it rather than against it? Flip both palms. Inhale them back over. Flip both palms. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, flatten them down. So it's like you're moving energy above you and around you. Inhale, bring them up, straighten the leg. Exhale, clear the energy as you squat in that front knee. Inhale, swoop something up, clear your space. Exhale, press the energy down, out, and away, bend the knee. Again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, clear the space, press something away. Good, from here, find your breath. From here, inhale, shift forward a whole bunch. So now you're spilling the pelvis forward. Take all of that space, put the left hand on the inside of the left foot. Roll the ribs underneath you, lift the right arm up to the ceiling, engage the back leg straight and strong. And then find your breath here. Make sure you're pulling your left hip back so you're not sticking your booty out. You're still falling back in the shoulders. So if you're looking down or your heart is facing down, I want you to drop the shoulders back more. Reach the top arm. Good, and then from here, swoop the whole entire horizon, take the right arm up so it's one long line of energy from the right big toe up the side body to the right pinky, right pointer or pinky. Few breaths. Remember to lift all of those toes in the front foot. One more big breath in. Look down at that big toe. Bring the arm back up. Push yourself back up into Virabhadrasana 2. Woo. Go ahead, straighten the front leg. Good. Now from here, inhale, bring all that space again. Take the hand to the outside of the left foot. Reach the right arm up. And then fit yourself between two planes of glass. So think of reaching the right fingertips towards the ceiling, pulling the left hip back. Belly stays in. Few breaths there. Nice, you guys. Go ahead, now take a look at that big toe. Bend the left leg deeply. Inhale, bring yourself back up to Virabhadrasana 2. Flip your front palm, inhale, reach up and back. And then exhale, take your hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Slowly lower through your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog. Big breath in through the nose. Maybe you sigh something out the mouth. From here, inhale the hips up and back. Bending the knees at the end of your breath, step or lightly float to the top of your mat. Inhale, heart reaches, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold in, Uttanasana. Inhale, root down through the feet, rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Hands in front of the heart, Tadasana. Good, so we're gonna move through Surya Namaskar A 3 times. We're gonna build the heat in the body. When we start in mountain pose, make sure the toes touch each other, the heels are behind the second toe. And you're lifting your frontal hip points. So the whole point is not to dump in your lower back. So take the little sassafras out. From here, hands to the heart. And then we're gonna invite the fire element in. If it's not already there, it's already in me today, but you're inviting the fire element in. And so we're gonna burn away any limiting beliefs, any negative thought patterns, any mentalities that hold us back. So be mindful for a moment. What could you afford to burn out? Have you been in the space of a victim? Have you been in the space of why me? What kind of space have you been in? Inviting the fire element into the body as a way to purify and cleanse so that we can create space for all that we are and all that we deserve. From here, inhale, arms reach, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, heart reaches, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, hands to the mat, step or lightly float to your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog. You have a few breaths here. Inhale, presses the hands into the earth. Exhale, lengthens and strengthens through the arms. Inhale, lifts the hips up and high. Exhale, presses the heels more towards the earth. Inhale, big breath in. Bend the knees. At the end of the breath, look forward, step or lightly float to the top of your mat. Inhale, heart reaches. Exhale, fold in. Root down through the feet, rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Hands to the heart, Tadasana. Again, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or lightly float to your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, big breath through the nose. Exhale, cat's breath out the mouth. Inhale, big breath through the nose. Exhale, cat's breath out the mouth. Inhale, big breath through the nose. Bend the knees, look forward. At the end of the breath, step or lightly float to the front of your mat. Inhale, heart reaches. Exhale, fold in. Root down, rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, hands to the heart, Tadasana. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step or lightly float, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back, downward facing dog. Right away, we're gonna step the right foot between the legs, drop the back heel, revisit your Virabhadrasana 2. So you find your warrior 2, sink deep in the front knee. Good, and then spin the inseam of the thigh towards the outer. So good, you guys. So strong. Sinking deep. So check in, get the right knee to pull open towards the right pinky toe. So as we start to get tired, we're gonna start to let it cave in. Don't do that. Spin the inseam towards the outer, sink deep. Good, from here, gazes over the right fingertips. From here, big breath in. As you exhale, bend the front knee, step yourself forward. If you had a block, you would use it. Otherwise, we're gonna come into Ardha Chandrasana. So the hand is about a foot in front of the right leg. Line your thumb with your pinky toe and then lift the back body up. Back leg up, open up the chest to the sidewall. Flex the back foot a whole bunch, engage the quad. And remember that you're literally just putting your body in funny shapes. So if you fall, just get right back up. Your balance is gonna be different every day. Try to lift through the lower body. So that means that the obliques, the right obliques are lifting, the chest is lifting, you're pressing out of the right arm, you're lifting through the left. Few breaths, back leg straight and strong. Good, from here, look down at that right foot, bend your knee, and as slow as you can, step the left foot back. Come back to that Virabha 2. Nice, from here, straighten the front leg. Take both feet to face forward. Nice, from here, you're gonna knock the heels in now from where they were. Coming into my absolute least favorite pose, goddess pose. So from goddess pose, you're gonna lift the frontal hip points, you're gonna sink deep, and you're gonna find that wide squat. Take the hands to the heart. And then see if you can take the crown of your head back a little bit. Sink deep, open up the knees. So again, both of those thighs are rolling out. Sink deep, all 10 toes are lifting off of the mat. Hands in front of the heart, few breaths. Good, can you open up the arms now wide? Palms face up. Good, inhale, reach the arms up, straighten the legs. Exhale, push the air down, squat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take it back down. Soften your tailbone more towards the heels, you guys. So I want you to take some of the arch out of your lower back. So I'm gonna turn to the side to show you guys. So here, I don't want you to be doing this. Look at my booty. Don't do this, okay? We wanna tuck this under, sink deep, press the knees open. So we're finding this. Copy? Good job. Just hold that for 25 more breaths. You're cool, right? Just kidding. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, press back down one more time. Good, inhale, straighten the arms, straighten the legs. Good, hands on the hips. Now knock the toes all the way in, heels out. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, fold forward, Prasarita Padottanasana A. So the hands are on the hips and now the toes are in and the heels are out. And maybe you're gonna widen your stance a whole bunch and start to shift your weight even more forward. Once you're forward, you can take the hands, walk them straight back behind your booty. Or you can keep them bent. If you have tripod headstand in your practice, it's a little early in the practice to do it, but if you're super advanced at it and you want it, it's your practice. From here, firm the outer hips in, firm the outer ankles in, and then from here, walk the hands out forward. Take the hands just underneath your nose. Inhale, reach the heart forward, shift the weight into the balls of your feet a little bit more. Good, and then keep the left hand where it is, reach the right arm out to the side. Keep the right arm out to the side just like this. From here, keep the arm just like that, but start to rotate and push through the left arm so you open up and find this twist. Keep the left hip back. Gaze is at the top right hand. Big breath in. Good, now exhale, follow that arm, hold it out to the side again. Press the left arm away, you're holding the right arm out to the side. Good, from here, you're gonna take the right hand to the outside of the right foot, and then you're gonna crawl the left hand to meet the right, and you're just gonna fold forward. Few breaths. Firm the outer ankles in. Good, from here, walk the left hand back out to front, right hand back out to front. Nice, from here, press the ground away again, shift the weight into the balls of your feet. Take the left arm out to the side. From here, press the right arm super strong so you're pressing your body away from the mat. Good, from here, start to press and open your chest towards the left. So the whole point of having the arm out to the side is that we're not starting this with the arm, we're pressing it through the chest. Pull the right hip back, and now the gaze works towards the top arm. Few breaths there. Pressing strong out of the bottom arm. Good, one more big breath in. Now exhale, slowly take that left hand to the left foot. Once you're there, pull the belly in and then take the right hand to meet that and fold forward. Few breaths. Firm the outer ankles in, shift the weight more into the balls of your feet. Feel the stretch along the side body, and then slowly walk the hands out in front. Good, from here, press the chest forward. You're gonna knock your heels back in now. So toes are out, heels are in. And then we're revisiting our favorite pose, goddess pose. From your hands on your hips, come up halfway, and then rise all the way up. Good, sink deep in your goddess. Few breaths. Hands to heart center, sink a little bit deeper, toes are off of the mat, spine is long. And then we breathe. And then just remind yourself that you can do hard things. You can do hard things, that's why you exist in this time today. And then slowly straighten your legs. Good, from here, we're gonna take the back leg and we're gonna turn it, setting ourselves up for Virabhadrasana 2, facing the other direction. So your left foot deep from the inseam of the hip socket is gonna face towards your back of your mat. The back foot is now parallel with the back of the mat. From here, sink deep, find Virabhadrasana 2. So we revisit this Virabhadrasana 2. Nice. Gaze is over the left hand, sink deep. Check in that you're not lunging forward. So the crown of your head is right over your tailbone. Now, if you have that block, you're gonna use it on this side as well. So maybe you set yourself up for that. From here, sink deep in the front foot. Shift your gaze and your weight forward and then come up onto that front standing leg, find Ardha Chandrasana. So you're gonna lift out of that lower leg. So we're not collapsing in the leg, we're not collapsing in the shoulder, we're lifting every piece of our body. Flex the back foot a whole bunch, reach the right arm to the ceiling, and then remember to engage the quad so that your kneecap is lifting. Few breaths here. You're light on the bottom hand. And if you fall, you just get right back up. Few breaths. One more big breath in. And as slow as you can, you're gonna step that foot back, bringing yourself back to Virabhadrasana 2. Nice. From here, straighten the front leg. Bring the toes back to face forward. We're not taking goddess. We're gonna take Prasarita Padottanasana C. So you're gonna take the hands to the hips. Inhale, big breath in. Exhale, fold forward. And then you're gonna take both hands and grab the big toes. So it's your peace sign fingers. Inhale, heart reaches forward. Exhale, pull the elbows out to the side. Shift your body weight forward more and feel the super high hamstrings start to open. Take the shoulders out of the ears. Shift the weight forward. And then slowly walk your hands back up. Press the chest forward. Hands on the hips. Inhale, rise all the way up. Go ahead, jump your feet together. And then shake it out. Nice job, you guys. Coming to the top of your mat. So good. Coming to the top of your mat, inhale, arms reach, sink deep, Utkatasana, chair pose. Good, sink deep for a moment in your Utkatasana. So we're gonna pull the belly in, and it feels kind of familiar to that first chair pose that we took, and also it feels slightly different. So notice if you can bring some of that strength from before back in here. Lift the arms high, pull the belly in. Soften your tailbone towards the heels, sink a little bit deeper. Sink a little bit deeper. And then root rise all the way up, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. From here, inhale, arms reach, sink deep, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, heart reaches, collarbones broaden, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to plank. Slowly lower through your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back, downward facing dog. From here, you're gonna step the right foot between the hands. You're gonna drop the back foot and set yourself up for Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1, that's just a fancy way of saying it. So you're gonna move the right foot to the right and move your left foot to the left. Pull the right femur back a whole bunch, sink deep in the front knee, pull the belly in and then rise up, sink deep. Good, a few breaths here. So take the left arm like you're moving it forward. That's the way that hip wants to go. And then drop the right shoulder down a little bit more. Good, from here, lift the left arm back up. Inhale the arms up, maybe touch the fingertips. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to plank. Lower through your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog. From here, your left foot steps between the hands. Move your left foot to the left and your right foot to the right. Drop the right heel. That's so important. Make sure you drop the right heel. Pull the left hip back. Inhale, rise up. Virabhadrasana 1 on your left side. Sink deep. Pull the lower belly in. Engage the back leg strong. Good. Reach the right arm forward. That's the way the hip wants to go. Inhale, reach it back up. Inhale as you sink deep. Good. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Maybe you touch them. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to plank, slowly lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog. From here, inhale the hips up and back. At the end of the breath, step or lightly float to the front of your mat. Inhale, heart reaches. Exhale, fold in. Sit down into your chair pose, arms reach, Utkatasana. Root to rise, hands to heart center, Tadasana. Good, so we're gonna take 2 Siranamaskar Bs, that's that ritual. We're trying to link 1 breath to each movement. We're bringing the fire element in. This is kind of the last of your standing postures. So try to contain and harness and use that fire by controlling and containing your breath. So remember, we breathe in the nose, out the nose. And I'm always gonna sound a little bit more labored than I should because I'm talking to you guys through it and I should be containing my breath. So don't ever feel like you have to sound like me. All right, so hands in front of the heart, tuck your tailbone. From here, inhale, arms reach, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, heart reaches, collarbones broaden. Exhale, hands to the mat, step or lightly float, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back, downward facing dog. Right away, the right foot steps forward. You inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. The exhale takes you all the way down through your chaturanga. Inhale, press the heart forward. Exhale, lift the hips back, downward facing dog. Same breath, left foot steps between the hands, rise, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale takes you all the way through your chaturanga. Inhale, collarbones broaden. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog. Few breaths here. Inhale the hips up and back. Bending at the knees. Exhale, step or lightly float to the front of your mat. Inhale, heart reaches. Exhale, fold in. Sink deep, reach high, Utkatasana. Root to rise, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. 1 more time like that. Inhale, arms reach, sink deep. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, heart reaches. Exhale, hands to the mat, step or lightly float through your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right foot steps between the hands. Inhale, rise up. Exhale takes you all the way through. Inhale, heart reaches. Tuck your toes, push it back. Left foot steps between the hands, rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, pulls you back. Few breaths. With all that fire in your body, you're gonna inhale, shift forward to plank. From here, you're gonna put the left hand down to the center of your mat. Kick yourself onto your left side foot, on the side of your left foot, and then reach the right up toward the ceiling. Listen to what I mean, you guys know what I say. Reach the right up towards the ceiling, find Vashisthasana. So check in, you might need to shift your weight more towards the top of your mat. Most of us do. Once you do that, engage the bicep a whole bunch so you're bending the elbow. Lift the right arm, lift the left hips, lift the left obliques. Few breaths here. And then from here, lift the right leg up. If that feels good there and you want to stay, stay there. If maybe you want to find some kind of a tree pose or Vashi 2, you can find that, whatever version. Be willing to play and make quote unquote mistakes. It's yoga, there are no mistakes. Few breaths. And then slowly take the right hand down. Bring yourself, push it right back into down dog. Walk out the feet for a moment. From here, inhale, shift right back out to plank. You've got this. Take the right hand to the center of the mat. Shift onto the side of your right foot. Stack your feet, stack your hips, lift your left arm. Press the ground away even more. So think that somebody's lifting you from the ceiling. Somebody's lifting you from the sky. They're pulling on your left fingertips. They're pulling on your left ribs. Lift up, up, up. Good, and if you want to lift the top leg, lift it. If that feels good to you and you want to stay there, breathe through it. Otherwise, if you want to take Vashi 2, or some version of tree pose. Find your version. And then exhale, take the hands to the mat. Push yourself back to downward facing dog and then walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Gently nod your head yes. Shake your head no. We're gonna take Padahastasana. So you're gonna stand on the tops of your hands. So you'll put the back of your hand flat on the mat. You'll take your toes and walk them all the way up to the wrist creases. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, fold in. Remember that a generous bend in the knees always helps release the lower lumbar. And it actually helps you access a little bit more mobility in the back body. And then once you're there and you start to release, you can start to straighten your legs. Good, and then untuck the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the hips. Slowly bring yourself all the way up. Coming to the top of your mat. Nice job. Inhale, arms reach. Sink deep, Utkatasana chair pose. Interlace the hands above your head, sink deep. Look your gaze forward, sink deep. Try to lift your chest, sink deep. Lift your heart even more, sink all the way until your booty touches the floor. Hands are interlaced, they're out in front of you like this. Hands are interlaced, they're out in front of you like this. From here, press the heart forward. If at any moment you have to hold on to your hamstrings, that's totally fine. Otherwise, try to find that boat pose with your hands interlaced. Find the balance for a moment. From here, open up the legs wide. Try to keep your balance, lift your chest. Few breaths, find how awkward that is. Feel your hip flexors talk to you, build the sensation. Good, now close your legs, bend your knees, sit up tall. From here, split the arms, straighten your legs. Big breath in, exhale, we're gonna lower for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale back up for 4, 3, 2, Navasana, exhale 4, 3, 2, Ardha Navasana. Inhale 4, 3, 2, Navasana. Exhale 4, 3, 2, Ardha Navasana. Inhale 4, 3, 2, Navasana. Exhale 4, 3, 2. Hold your Ardha Navasana. Now tuck your chin down towards your heart. Flex your feet. So the heels are pointing forward, the toes are pointing back. Pull the lower belly in a whole bunch. Arms reach to the front of the room. Good. From here, interlace both hands. Push them towards the right. Lift the right leg up towards the ceiling. Lift the right scapula off the mat and then drop the right leg down. Inhale the right leg back up. Exhale the right leg back down. Inhale the right leg back up.
Exhale the right leg back down. I don't know about you, but I am drenched. Inhale the right leg back up. Exhale the right leg down. Good, split the arms, reach up with the chest. Good, now lace the hands to the left, lift the left leg up. Lift the left scapula off the mat. Exhale, take the left leg down. Ooh, inhale, take the left leg up. The right leg is not touching the mat, right? Exhale the left leg down. Right leg is still floating. Inhale the left leg up. Yeah. Exhale the left leg down. Right leg is still floating. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale the left leg down. Inhale the left leg up. And then take the right leg up. Reach everything up towards the sky. So lift your scapula off the mat. Flex the heels towards the ceiling. Lift, lift, lift. And instead of thinking of that coveted six-pack, if you're anything like me, abs start in the kitchen, and I love food, so I'll probably never see those bad boys, but I can feel them, I can connect to them. And in fact, my muscles of compassion and my muscles of forgiveness and my muscles of empathy and my muscles of courage, the muscles that really matter that are buried in the center of my being are stronger than any six-pack will ever be, yeah? So breathing into the deepest part of your body, into your moral compass, breathing into your intuition, breathing into the depths of your core, bigger than just the rectus abdominis. Big breath in, exhale, slowly lower everything down. Woosah. Big breath in, exhale, arms out to the sides. Just let your body kind of move freely however it wants. Let all of that fire settle. And today we're going to take our hip stretches on our back, just like we are. So, but before we get there, let's take a back bend, okay? So take the heels in line with the sit bones. Heels in line with the sit bones, which means that they should be far enough that you can touch them with your fingertips. Close enough that you can touch them with your fingertips, but wide enough so that they're not touching each other. So if you look down at your knees, you should be able to put a block between your legs, essentially, 4 to 5 inches. From here, you're gonna press through the heels. Once you press up, relax your booty. So usually we lift up and we squeeze our ass right away. Relax your glutes. Now press up through the heels even more. Feel yourself press into the ground so that your shoulders start to push into the earth, and then relax your glutes again. So we want to engage the hamstrings instead of the glutes, because the glutes are really bossy muscles. So we want the hamstrings to engage. From here, interlace the hands underneath your back. Roll one shoulder and then the other, and then press up high. So your gaze is at the ceiling. You're not going to look at the screen no matter what. To protect your cervical spine, press the shoulders down, keep the gaze up. Press the heels into the earth even more. Maybe all 10 toes come off the mat. Few breaths. Good, and then slowly lower, releasing one vertebrae at a time. Can you release the glutes? And then just lay there for a moment. Don't hug your knees into your chest. We're going to take that 2 more times. You do have an option for Urdhva Dhanurasana. If you have upward bow pose in your practice, you can absolutely take it. Otherwise, from here, deep breath in. Exhale, press through the soles of the feet. Notice to release the glutes again. Press the heels into the earth, engaging the hamstrings. Lift the toes, engage the hamstrings, release the glutes again. Interlace hands underneath you. Roll the shoulders under and press the chest towards the chin. Good, release the glutes again. Now we're gonna add a little spice onto it. So put your weight more on your right leg, lift your left leg up high. Flex the toes towards the ceiling, and now flex the heel towards the ceiling. Lift your hips 1 more inch. 1 more big breath in. Exhale, take the left leg down. Keep the hips up, release the glutes. Press to the heel of the left leg more, release the glutes. Lift the right leg up. Point the toes towards the ceiling. Lift and press through the left leg hard. Now flex the heels back. Lift the right leg up. Lift the left hips up. Now take the right leg back down. Release the glutes. From here, press the heels up again into the earth. Release the glutes. And then slowly bring it all the way down. Don't hug your knees into your chest yet. Okay, and if you have upward bow pose, it's your last opportunity to take it, or if you want to take another bridge, feel free. If you just want to sit here with your legs straight up, Vripriti Karani, you can do that also. Find whatever you'd like. You have about 30 more seconds. If you're going to do upward bow pose with me, you'll turn the toes in a little bit and the heels out. You'll think of the inseams of the thighs moving down. You'll spin the hands back so that your fingertips are pointing towards your shoulders. And before you lift all the way up, you're gonna come to the crown of your head first. That's super important. So you'll come to a tripod. So you squeeze the triceps in towards the cheeks. Big breath in. Exhale, press yourself up onto your tripod. Once you have your stance sturdy and strong, then you'll press up through the arms and through the legs. Few breaths, toes in, heels out, release the glutes. And then slowly tuck the chin in. Bring yourself all the way down. Don't hug your knees into your chest. Instead, knock your knees together, heels out, and let all of that settle, all of that invigorating energy settle. And so like I said, today I'm only going to give you an hour practice. So we're coming close to the end. We're winding down. Now it's time to hug your knees into your chest. So we always want to give our spine an opportunity to kind of settle and relax, to recalibrate before we hug it in. It's like a credit card. If you were to fold it back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, eventually it would get damaged, it'd break. Same with our spine. So anytime we take our spine in extension like that, we want to make sure we give it a second to release before we hug our knees into our chest. From here, go ahead, grab between the knees, grab the outsides of the feet, and then pull the feet down. Pull the knees down as the feet point towards the ceiling and find your happy baby. Once you're in happy baby, can you press the tailbone towards the front of the room? Exhale, press the knees a little bit further. Inhale, lengthen more of your spine on the mat. Exhale, release the hips a little bit more. Let the knees come down further. Inhale, more of the spine on the mat. Exhale, draw the shoulders down and in towards the earth. Good, from here, you're gonna grab your big toes, and then you're gonna spread the legs nice and wide. Open the legs nice and wide till the legs lock out, and then just find kind of a little rocking motion side to side. See if that feels awkward or uncomfortable. For a lot of us, there's shame around our legs being spread like this, and that's silly. You're holding your body in a position, there should be no shame. So just noticing what sensations come up, the stories that we tell ourselves and how we can navigate through and around them. From here, with our legs spread wide like this, holding onto your big toes, you're gonna slowly first engage your belly a whole bunch. So you pull your belly button in and then you start to rock forward and back, and it feels super silly and also it feels really fun. And the trick to this is that we're not gonna move on until everybody's balanced in this V sit with their legs open and their chest up. So keep rocking forward and back until you find this. And if it makes you giggle, perfect. Try it. It's gonna feel cattywampus. You might fall over right side, left side. Just keep going till you find it. Pull your belly in a whole bunch. Keep going, you got it. You got it. Remember, the straighter your legs are, the easier it'll be. So sometimes that means your legs might be further on front of you. Keep going, you got it. Yes, I see you guys on the screen. Everybody's almost got it. Let's go. Come on. There it is. The ones that I can't see, I hope you're doing it. Okay, cross your ankles. Good job. From here, sit up nice and tall. We'll just take Baddha Konasana, so put the soles of the feet together. From here, big breath in. Exhale, hinge forward, and then press your elbows into the inseams of your thighs. Elbows into the inseams of your thighs, and then press there and just give yourself a few breaths, because remember, every time you inhale, you ask for space. And every time you exhale, you sink a little bit deeper into the space that you just created. I want to host a giant fucking party. I bet everybody feels that way. I want to have a big giant party when this is over. We have a big giant party when this is over. I miss people. I'm so happy I have you guys. And then slowly walk your hands out. Even though I can't hear you, I can feel you. And then slowly roll yourself up. Go ahead, collect your knees together. So we're gonna take single or double pigeon, it's up to you. So single pigeon is that one where you're laying on the mat and you have your shin in front of you parallel. Double pigeon is so incredibly, not painful, but electrifying for me. So I'm just gonna show you guys what that looks like. So
It's basically shin over shin. So I'm gonna take the left leg and I'm gonna bring it out in front of me like this. And then I'm gonna try to take my right leg without grabbing it and doing it, right? Because I wanna see what my range of motion is. I'm gonna take my right foot, put it on top of my left knee, and I'm gonna flex both feet. That's so important. When you flex your feet, you bypass the knee and injuring it, and you get into the hip. So once I have this, I'm gonna start to shift forward and try to get this knee over this ankle. So the key is that it's knee over ankle, ankle over knee. So for some of us, this is it. Look at all of that space. That's where my flexibility is, and that's totally okay. You can also take figure four, where you're lying on your back and you reach between your legs, and you can also take single pigeon. So this is a pose where I just can sit here, and this is gonna feel like a lot of work, and that's okay. So find whatever version you want, and then you just let yourself kind of soften into it. And then see if you can drop back into your body. Dropping back in through breath. And so where there's soreness or contraction, you send your breath there. And you might notice that every exhale you soften into a new space. And it's so interesting, right? Because that space has been there the entire time. But we just have to move in different ways and find different awareness and shift our focus to feel like we're in completely new territory. And that's all happening within us. And so think of all the layers and pieces of yourself that you have yet to meet. And if we soften and release, we discover new pieces, new versions, new things to love about ourselves. And then just notice if you were able to go a little bit further. Slowly walking yourself up. That feels so good. Gently lift that leg. Ooh, stop. Go ahead, shake it out, get the blood to flow. So if you're on your back, you're gonna switch. If you're in single pigeon, you're gonna switch. If you're in double, get the blood to flow a little bit. And then you'll take the you'll take the right leg across. Remember to flex the foot a whole bunch. You're gonna put your hands back first so you're not using your external levers, but you're using your internal levers. You're gonna lift the left leg, flex the foot, put it on top of the knee, and then slowly start to bring it on top. So shin over shin, ankle in line with knee. And remember, if you feel anything in the knee, anything deep in the knee, any pinching or twinging, you wanna back off immediately. And then let yourself fall in there. And notice that as we slow practice down and we start to get more quiet, the tendency to leave the present moment, the tendency to think about what's happening next, starts to creep in. But the word silent and the word listen have the same letters in them, just rearranged. So can we get into the silence? Can we be silent enough to actually listen? Remembering to work with it and not against it. And then slowly walk yourself out of that one. If you're on your back, you can stay there. If you're in either of the other pigeons, you're gonna shake your legs out. If you're on your back, you're gonna roll yourself up now, and we're gonna come into Paschimottanasana. So we're just gonna take another forward fold, a seated forward fold. So you pull the flesh away, so you have your sit bones on the mat. From here, press the arms straight, so you're in Dandasana. So Dandasana is the blueprint for all seated poses. So that means you wanna start with this foundation every time. Big breath in, inhale the arms up. And then exhale, slowly fold forward. Release any of the struggle to be here and just let yourself surrender into your forward fold. And so remember that we drop into a deeper knowing of truth, of what we're going through, of what we're processing, by way of connecting and moving through the body. And so we let this be a somatic experience. It's way less of a workout. It's definitely more of a work in. And then slowly as you sit up, just look at your toes for a moment. Give yourself a gentle squeeze in the toes, rub the feet, the sides of the feet, the ankles. Rubbing your shins and your calves, just holding gratitude and appreciation for these limbs that are still here, that have carried you through everything you've experienced so far. Taking a moment to thank your body for housing you, for storing the things that you need to process later so that you can revisit them at a later date. Thanking your body for all the joy, for all the adrenaline, for all the endorphins. Rubbing on your lower back, your hips, your kidneys, massaging, healing, loving energy. Massaging through the belly, through your divine feminine and divine masculine, your sensual and sexual reproductive system. Massaging through the belly, rubbing appreciation and gratitude through all your detoxifying, purifying organs. Rubbing deeper in that area, think of sending energy to your creativity, into your solar plexus, up into your chest, moving the hands to the heart, and then just breathing into your heart space for a moment. Taking the energy of the heart and rubbing it across your décolleté, across your collarbones, letting yourself open your chest and have more confidence knowing that you were chose to be here in this time. Because you're absolutely strong enough, you have the resilience in you, you have the light, you have the understanding, you know how to act right, you're here for a reason. You have a purpose in this moment. You're absolutely necessary. Keeping the collarbones wide and slowly start to roll yourself all the way onto the mat. So taking yourself all the way down, hopefully maybe your eyes are closed by now. If not, I invite you to close them. It's safe to close your eyes. Rolling yourself all the way down onto your mat, letting the legs fall wider than hip distance apart. Tuck your tailbone underneath you. Let the scapula tuck under, and then the palms flip up. If you have something to cover your eyes, I always suggest it. That deep pressure touch feels good on the eyes. And then just for a moment, lay here and let everything settle. Can you relax the eyebrows? Can you release the eyelids? Let the temples relax. Allow the tongue to fall from the roof of your mouth. Let your jaw find ease. The back of your neck gets softer. Your shoulders give way. Bringing awareness to the backs of the arms supported by the earth. Feeling where your back and your sit bones, your lower lumbar, where it is touching the mat. Letting the muscles of the legs melt away from the bone. The ankles release, the toes release, Shavasana. So the card that we pulled, my emotions move through cycles and connect me to my truth. We are cyclical in nature and fluctuate. We ebb and flow, we rise and fall. We contract and expand. Our cycles are a gift and carry deep and rich wisdom. Embrace your cycles and know that they inspire heightened intuition and creative genius. They also unearth buried desires, reveal where self-care is lacking, awaken directive inquiry, and invite you to truly feel your rhythm. If you resist your essential nature, you may feel disconnected and lose touch with your ability to self-regulate. Your body informs you and guides you through your emotions. Pause and feel. Stagnation may be a call for change. Feeling stuck may be a sign you need to move. Weighed down with clutter may be a nudge to make space. Give yourself permission to feel your full range of emotions and your multifaceted nature. This is key to your vitality and wisdom as a human. So slowly starting to bring the focus back to your breath, starting to bring movement back into the body. Maybe rubbing the fingertips together, the toes. Taking the hands and finding your body with your hands. And just thanking your body for a moment. Thank you, body. Thank you, body. Rolling onto your right side in a fetal position, keeping the eyes closed, and just allow yourself to rest. Corpse pose is a beautiful opportunity for us to leave something behind us. We have an opportunity to shed a piece of our layer, a piece of our skin, a piece of our being, a tool that maybe we've sharpened and used to get us through our human experience so far, but maybe it's heavy and maybe we don't have need for it any longer. So maybe just taking a moment and taking a gentle inventory. Is there a thought pattern? Is there a belief? Is there a loop in the soundtrack of your mind? Is there a tool? Is there something that you can shed so that you can rise a little lighter, a little freer, with a little bit more space to step into the ever-evolving human that you are? Using your left palm to push yourself back up to seated. Coming to the top of your mat again, either on your knees in hero's pose or cross-legged. Taking your hands to your heart, we'll seal our practice in with one collective Om. From here, inhale, root to crown, and exhale for Om. Letting the vibration that connects the entire universe move through you. Honoring that we have this opportunity, even though we are far apart, to be able to connect digitally. Being grateful for the times that we live in. Sealing our practice in. Bowing your chin to your chest. Lift your chin, take your hands to your third eye, your lips, and then your heart, shining the light of our practice, of our community, of this connection, of our yoga, through what we think, what we say, and in what we do. Namaste. Shanti, you guys.